We're back here on the platform this evening speaking with Reverend Dorval Darlier, who is a French teacher and also a pastor here in the Bahamas. There's a perception that people have. I believe that some of your students will probably call you the Haitian teacher.
Yes. In fact, I remember my first year. In fact, you know, I have to display my name on the board.
Yes.
And when I tell them I'm from Haiti, and Mr. Jones, that was a joke for them. Oh, they say, oh, he's Asian, he's Asian. In fact, this is most of the average Bahamian, they have a center mind. When you're talking about Haitian or Haiti, only one thing they see. People who come from the mountain, come into the boat, and that's it. That's Haiti right there. Mm-hmm. And I believe also the media have a problem with that country. Even though they went down there, live or reside in the best place and the best hotel or house down there, they will never show you that kind of place. They only show you Cité Soleil. Mm-hmm. They only show you the poor people who have sack on their head.
The peasants.
Yeah, that's that they show you. Do you understand what I mean? But it's time the new government right now, Michel Martelly and Laurent Lamotte, those two guys, they bring a system right now, a political view right now saying like Haiti is open for business. Mm-hmm. Now they project a different view of Haiti. Go back to my classroom. I remember again, when I look at the list, I see some name who's familiar with my name in Haiti. Joseph, Jean-Jacques, you name it. And I said, how many of y'all students who speak Creole? None of them raised their hand. I say, hold on, that can't happen. A Joseph must be able to speak Creole. A Jean-Jacques must be able to speak Creole. Gentlemen, I call Jean-Jacques, Dorval, Pierre, come to the front. I say, class, all those guys, all the students I've been calling, they are Haitian. Mr. Jones, my brother, that was a shock. They so shame. Oh, this is the worst thing I can do. After that, I sat down with them, playing a couple clip from Haiti through music, music video, some pictures, some places. And do you know, after that, it is a different view of them. They look at Haiti in a different way now. Mm-hmm. Even people you can never think of, I don't want to call no name, I don't want to say, even the teachers in the system. One day, not on my school, so to speak, and I have a laptop, display the new Haitian government. You know, he's mulattoes, right?
Yes.
And his first days, and they have a banquet for him. Only mulattoes came to the banquet. You know what the teacher told me?
What?
Asked me, oh, there is white people in Haiti too.
A teacher asked you that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's a high ignorance,
of course,
in the Bahamas,
yes,
of the situation
in Haiti, yes,
and of the culture of Haiti,
yes,
and of the people generally.
Genuinely, but me, I was in the same situation too. I don't want to forget that. When you was in Haiti, when you tell your mom or your dad come from the Bahamas, they turn you down.
Why?
Because they say you come from a small country.
How long ago was this?
Not small, looking at that since I was in the high school.
When you were in high school?
Yeah. That time, I don't know nothing about the Bahamas. Yes. In fact, you know, the Haitian, at this time, those people, when they go to Haiti, even the Haitian or the Bahamian too, maybe sometime they went to Haiti, they have like long socks and with shoes and stuff like that, short pants. I say, that's other people, that's the people in the Bahamas. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes.
And we used to have fun.
So you formed a certain perception,
exactly,
of people in the Bahamas.
Yes, yes.
And you felt that it is a small country.
Yes, small country.
As Bahamians, yes, have a certain perception
of Haiti.
that it
Exactly.
is a poor country.
Yes, yes. Uh-huh.
But
In fact,
isn't Haiti a poor country?
But-
generally speaking.
it is a poor country, so to speak, but not the way that you all take it, so to speak. But in fact, the way I see it,
Well, explain it now. Explain, because you talk about the mulattoes there.
Yeah,
And
but-
there are mulattoes in the Bahamas too. Do we have a situation where there are, in Haiti, Godfrey Anius, two classes, rich and poor,
there is at least 3 classes in Haiti.
3 classes?
The rich, the middle class, and the poor.
Do you have a middle class in Haiti?
Yes.
Because I'm told that the
There is
middle
a
class
middle-
in Haiti is almost non-existent.
They tell you that, but still, the one, if myself, I can eat properly, I can go to university, I'm not rich, but I'm not poor.
So you consider yourself a middle class?
Of course.
A Haitian national?
Yeah, I have a job.
Okay.
I have a job. I'm a teacher. I'm well educated. Do you understand what I mean? I have a house, and I have a car to drive. I'm not poor.
But the mulattoes in Haiti, there's a high class consciousness
Yes, but
in
let me give
in
you.
that country. Eh?
Let's go back. Let's go back to explain the mulattoes. The mulattoes is the son or daughter of a white master during the slave with a female negress.
Yes.
You understand me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, they become a social class by themselves. They grow up and they married together. They don't easily marry someone like you.
Not unless you're very wealthy.
You got it. You're a very smart man. That's why I love you. You understand what I mean? In fact, they stay together. They stick together. They don't mind spend $1 million for each other, but they will not spend a dime for someone who does not belong to the same class social as them. Do you understand what I mean?
But doesn't this class go back to the revolution?
Mm-hmm.
Tucson was looked like
Yeah.
like us, small, looked like us, and it was the mulatto in Haiti who was also a slave owner, and who also was the individual who got mad with the French because they won't allow them in the French Parliament.
Well, the mulattoes wasn't for totally revolution in Haiti. They was looking for the right to vote as the white man.
And sit in the French Parliament.
Yes, that's what the mulattoes want. Do you understand what I mean? When the white man don't want to give them this access, that's why they have to put themselves with the black slave
Yeah.
to get Haiti independence. But they wasn't for the totally independence. Do you understand what I mean? One of the problems that caused in Haiti, after Haiti independence, the wealth of this country never share. Do you understand what I mean? A group of people, especially the mulattoes, they said, this was belong to my dad, that was belong to my uncle, that was belong to my mommy, that was belong to that's mine. That's why Dessalines, the guy who gave us the independence, he said, no, that can't happen like that. The wealth of this country must share to all the Haitians, because all of us have fought for the independence. We must share the wealth of Haiti, and that's why they kill him. You know who killed him? The mulattoes. And the wealth of this country never share. That's why some of them so rich, and the mass don't have nothing.
So they were the plantation owners.
Yeah.
For a long time, the government of Haiti had to pay reparations to the government of France because Haitians really, in addition to fighting for their independence,
Yes.
bought their independence as well.
Yes.
You spent a whole lot of money,
Money.
with the government of France, and that continued well into the 60s, eh?
Yes.
That made Haiti much poorer.
Well, yes.
And I want you to speak to that.
In fact, after Haiti beat France, Napoleon's army,
Napoleon's army. Yeah.
That was the most powerful army at this time. Do you understand what I mean?
And Haiti was a jewel in the French.
Yeah, yeah. And as a small country like that, black slave beat a big powerful army like that. It was so shame for them. That's why they refused to recognize Haiti as a free country. That's why they said, for me to recognize you, you have to pay me for all the costs all the mess you have done. If not, I'm going back to fight you. Do you understand me? Those guys said, man, look here, I'm not going to take chance to fight again. I'll rather pay. That's why you see they pay so much for the money. I think this money worth like millions of dollars by now. Billions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions by now.
What caused the separation of Hispaniola?
Well,
when the Spanish came in and took over.
Well, let me explain that a little bit. You know, this country is still rich, you know. That's still rich. And when Christopher Columbus discovered this island, you know, he was not looking for America. He was looking for India.
Yeah.
India, sure. Yeah. You know, looking for spice. You know, they said if the earth is around, there is a next way to go to India. And they take, you know, the King Isabella and Ferdinand, the King Ferdinand, give them boat and stuff like that. They're looking for a next way to get to India. Now, they discover this block, so-called America. When they find those Awaks, they thought they reached to India. Are you there with me?
Yeah.
That's why they said, oh, this is the Indian, we reach. And they wasn't the Indian for sure because they have the same skin of color. That's why they call them the Indian. What they have done, when they reach in that place, gold was all over the place. And the river all over the place, Mr. Jones. And what he did, he carried all the visible gold that he found in his sight. When he reached to the king table, he said, we don't bring spice, but we bring you something more important than spice. And he dropped 2 pieces of gold on the king table. Now, those boats, those ships that he has full of gold, he made the second trip. When everybody knows about gold in Haiti, that was a rush for gold in Haiti.
Okay.
That's why, before I finish, sorry to cut you on, that's why when he carried all the visible gold, now when France know about it, now France reached down there too. Do you understand what I mean? Now France want to take over of this island too. And they divide the France on the side and the Spanish on the side.
Okay. I'm told that you have found some gold in recent times in Haiti.
Yes.
So let's talk about that, but we have to take a break here on the platform. Reverend Dorval Darlier is our guest on the program this evening. We'll come right back.